Good evening, friends. We're going to call our meeting to order. Please feel free to continue to enjoy the wonderful meal that Mrs. Catherine has provided us. We are so thankful. Looks like most people are past the meal into the heavenly stuff. Enjoy it. Go get dessert. Refresh your beverages. We're going to ask Lindsay Lander, if you would please, to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We certainly want to pause and be careful to thank Ms. Catherine and Superintendent Thomas for their wonderful hospitality that they always extend in Dixie County, beautiful Dixie County. And Superintendent Thomas, is there anything you'd like to say or share?
Well, Ms. Catherine said, if you don't act right and do what she says, the next year it could be beanie weenies and stars.
We're going to behave.
Being real good. Like this.
Yeah. If you want to do the coconut cake, she's the one to call. She might make you one for a little fry.
Thank you so much for having us, Superintendent. We appreciate it. Okay, so welcome everyone. Glad to be here. The next item on the agenda, Roman numeral 3, the FGC Board of Trustees will hear any citizen who wishes to address the board on a one-time basis pertaining to a relevant topic. If the board wishes to hear more about the topic will be scheduled for a future board meeting. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. The time dedicated to this topic will not exceed 20 minutes, and I don't know of anyone who has requested to speak at this time. So, that being said, we will move on to our board minutes, Roman numeral 4, and seek approval of our board minutes that were dated January 13th, 2022. Does anybody see any changes, corrections, or amendments that are necessary in the meeting minutes?
I make a motion to approve.
Ms. Catherine makes a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Ms. Renee. All in favor of that, members of the board, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion's carried, and I apologize for not offering discussion. We'll ask Mr. Cardenas, whenever he presents, if there's anything to update us on relative to the Student Government Association. If you do it then, would that be okay?
I can do that.
Thank you so much, sir. We have the consent agenda under Roman numeral 6. And all the items on the consent agenda are routine business for us, state directives or compliance items. All items have been reviewed by our board attorney, and they've been available to us for our examination. Any trustee can request a topic to be removed from the consent agenda and discuss further. We'll note typographical errors and correct them in the board minutes. You all have seen the consent agenda. Is there any item that any member of the board would like to pull out separately for discussion? Okay. If there is no item, we would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve the consent agenda.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda by Dr. Surrency and Mrs. Norris, seconds. All in discussion. All in favor of that, members of the board, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. On to Roman numeral 7 and Dr. Gavin, Academic Affairs.
teaching some workshops during this time. The Future Teachers Club members attended the Future Florida conference. If he places in the top three, he'll have a chance to compete at the statewide event in April. And then lastly, several cosmetology students will be volunteering their hair cutting services at the 2022 Homeless Veterans Stand Down event.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. McGinnis.
our high school students went over to Florida Gateway, and they have been some of our students we've been sending to other technical places, but they expressed that that was the best tour at Florida Gateway, and how this is the instructor that went with them, and said it was just wonderful.
Good.
So I just want to thank you.
Was it Todd?
Pardon?
Was it Todd Siff? The instructor that walked around with them?
Yeah, well, it's Mr. Forrest
Oh, okay.
Beasley. He is our technical assistant person. He's not actually the instructor, but he's over the program.
Oh,
And so he just kept talking about Florida Gateway. And we have a foundation meeting Monday, and he's gonna talk about it there, how much it meant to the students going to Florida Gateway.
Paul, can you also mention about the Southeastern English Conference?
Oh, Tyka?
Okay, thank you so much. Roman numeral 8, enrollment management and student affairs. Mr. Cardenas.
publication. We'll have the classic favorites like theater and basketball. And we'll have new camps that include softball and flag football. Registration will begin soon on our website. We have exciting news coming out of our TRIO program. They recently completed their annual performance report with some very strong results. Our TRIO students have an 86% persistence rate compared, or actually we exceeded our goal of 69%, which is at or above our current student population. So they're doing an excellent job of keeping our students in and retaining them. In addition, our TRIO students also have a 46% graduation rate and a 22% transfer rate to four-year colleges. When the grant was originally written, we had put a 7% transfer rate as a goal to four-year colleges. So we've exceeded that 3 times over. And finally, 97% of our TRIO students have achieved our good academic standing status. Our goal was 89%, which means these students have 2.0 GPAs or higher. And finally, in athletics, FGC is hosting 2 men's basketball games this week. Our first is tonight at 7 p.m. against Florida College JV. Our next game will be this Saturday at 2 p.m. against Edward Waters University JV. We have 1 more week in the regular season before we go into the tournament and March Madness. That is my report.
That is a robust report. Thank you. Thank you. That was great.
Good job.
Do we have any board members, trustees that would like to make any comment or ask any questions?
I would
Yes.
just like to say that the idea of having the conversion night is awesome.
Thank you.
Because if you were just, with actually being physically present with the students to talk to them or their parents that come, you're there to answer questions and maybe help them to go ahead and get registered. I can tell you as a high school teacher for a very long time, it was always surprising to me that the students did not understand that just because they were dual enrolled, that they weren't automatically a student. They didn't understand that they have to go through a different process and become a regular student at FGC. And sometimes it'd be too late, when they, and the courses would already, be out for the next term. And so, that they couldn't take anything for the summer, because they thought that they would just keep on going, and it doesn't work that way. So I think that's a wonderful idea, and I think you'll definitely pick up more students doing that.
Thank you. I'd love to say that it was my idea, but I have an incredible staff. Julie Cannon and Crystal Janasiewicz both came together, 2 different departments underneath the enrollment management area, and decided, hey, look, we've got to do something like you said.
Right.
That what a great night to follow that together. So thank you. I'll pass it on to
Right,
you.
that's a great idea.
Is that going to, just add a question to that, is that what you were referring to, that you're going to be meeting with all 7 high schools throughout the
Yes.
area?
Actually, we'll be taking 2 trips. I should have mentioned the first one will be coming out to talk to all the dual enrollment students again this spring like we did in the fall, getting them prepared to take summer classes and look at the fall class schedule too. In addition, we'll be doing the conversion nights on top of that.
How are the numbers looking as far as dual enrollment compared to, say, last year and previous years?
It's a great question. We're still down, but in working with the program and looking at what we're thinking for this summer, the predictions coming out of that area are about 315. We were in that 335 range last summer. So we're still seeing a little bit of a drop off. It was 19% from 19 to 20. 20 to 21, it was 9%. So the decrease and the drop isn't as intense as the first year of COVID. That we saw before. So we're maybe starting to see some of those numbers come back, and we're going to be working with the guidance counselors, especially this spring at the next articulation meeting on some ideas that we have that could also boost dual enrollment.
Is it across the entire footprint drop, or is it maybe localized to specific areas?
Well, we're still kind of seeing it localized. Unfortunately, Columbia is still in kind of at the head of it, but not. They're getting better. I'm saying that they're improving, and we are getting more students that are coming back into the program. But it's a lot of the drop is still coming from Columbia High School.
Love the creativity on the math, the free, like,
Whose
for
idea was that?
IS tremendous, because I think it's such a barrier. So many people who may have attempted one time and had an issue, and then, I love that idea. That is so beautiful team, what you guys thinking of that, that's wonderful. I think if they can get past that, and the offering of another 3 credit hours, it allows us to kind of really give an opportunity to say,
Oh, yeah.
you may have tried this, maybe it didn't work out for whatever reason, or the timing, or COVID, or who knows what, but giving them an opportunity, I love that idea. when I heard that, it was really exciting, so I can't wait to see that marketing come out at the end of the month.
Dr. Gavin and Dr. Pease have done an incredible job working with our area and continue to work together and boost those numbers in those math classes. I'm excited about it too.
It'll be neat to see how it pans out. We'll be looking forward to that.
Well, the national and our responses right now, I'm not happy to say that, but a 54% completion rate with face-to-face on campus, 34% online. So we
Big
need to
difference.
move that needle, and we need to move it, even if we lose some students that want it online. The success rates are so much better.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be, creativity, love it. It's awesome.
Okay, any other comments? Those are great comments. Roman numeral 9, and that would be Mrs. Holloway.
Good evening, everyone. I have one budget amendment this time for you. We are requesting approval of Fund 7 Budget Amendment 6, which has been revised, so the report reflects actual revenue, revised budgeted expenditures, actual expenses, and updated projects through January 19th, 2022.
Okay, you hear the request for the budget amendment number 6. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
I second it.
So we have a motion to approve budget amendment number 6, capital outlay plan for unexpended plant fund 7, budget fiscal year 2021-2022. We have a motion from Mrs. Norris. We have a second by Mrs. McGinnis. Is there any discussion on that budget amendment? If there is none, all in favor, members of the board, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, the same sign. And the motion is carried, which brings us to Roman numeral 10, our president's report. Dr.
Or
Barrett.
she has some other,
I did want to.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Some campus projects, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Our
Yes.
mall walkway that continues further along, it's probably gonna be completed in the next 2 weeks. We're having some areas that we're actually saying, okay, we need to redo this part and make it a little straighter and nicer, so we're going through and telling them we're at the end where we're saying, okay, we won't accept this. So we're working with our contractor on that, and it's gonna turn out to be a great project.
That's Little and Williams, right?
Yes.
That was how the change orders were.
Yeah, they're subs that they hired for the concrete work were not very good, and they'll never use their subs again, because they understand the problem.
They're a good contractor, though. They'll take care of it.
yes,
They always do.
yes.
And then on our STEM project, last month I updated you a little bit on that we were further along than what we thought. Well, that was the kiss of death. I just received a change order this week to extend the timeout for 6 weeks, because there are some projects or some products that are on back order due to logistics and COVID reasons. So.
and who denied it? Me.
You know, I'm a sucker. I believed it when they said, yeah, we're gonna be done, March 30th. I was so excited. But I have to come back and say, I'm sorry. That is not correct anymore. But I will keep you updated as more
Thank you.
information comes along.
Thank you so much. Anything else?
No, sir.
Great. Okay, president's report, Dr. Barrett.
So before I introduce Lee, and based on what Michelle just said, I'd asked Anthony to show a video. I've had the opportunity to tour the building probably 6 or 7 times in the last 2 weeks. And Lee got to go with one of our major donors and I about a week ago. And it's just about a 2 minute and 20 second video. Talks about the progress. Doesn't talk, it's just music. And just want to thank Lance and Anthony for doing that video for me.
Great job.
Put it on the website.
It's actually on. It's actually.
Good. See yourself here.
All right, so I think that will lead into Lee's request from you.
Hello, good evening. On behalf of the foundation, we're here tonight to request formal approval to naming areas within the STEM building. These are 11 different naming areas that range anywhere from about $7,500 from donors to $25,000 from donors. This also concludes all of the naming opportunities that we had in the building, so we're pretty happy about that. I don't know if you need me to read down
I don't think he does.
every name, or if we can just do a blanket approval. I don't need to read every.
They don't have a list of it. do
Oh, they don't have a list.
Yeah,
Right.
It's not
yeah,
a
it's
letter.
on the.
No, it's in the packet. I'm sorry. It is. Okay, I'm sorry. Mine didn't. Oh, it is in there. I apologize. My mistake, David.
It's okay. I missed it.
So these are, as I mentioned before, these are 11 different areas ranging from break rooms to the Barrett staircase to chemistry and microbiology labs, and all donations are, like I mentioned before, anywhere from $7,500 up to $25,000. And all of these donors have either pledged and made payments on their pledge or paid in full at this time.
Nice job.
Okay, is there any question from any of our trustees about the list? Anybody have any questions about the list?
Do you foresee there might be some other opportunities like outside for gardens or anything like that?
Sure.
Because I mean, it's obviously been pretty successful for the building itself, so.
Sure, and then with the additional building, hopefully that goes up near, next to, adjacent to, attached, whatever we do with that, we will come up with more opportunities as well.
Good. If there are no questions, then I seek a motion to grant the foundation's request that these areas be named as listed in
Move to approve.
Ms. Norris moves to approve.
Second.
Is that Dr. Tepedino? Seconds the motion that we approve the naming as listed here on agenda item Roman numeral 10, capital letter B, small letter A. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, the motion is carried.
Keep going.
All right, I'll keep.
President Barrett.
We just want to thank Mike again and Catherine for having us here.
It's a pleasure.
On a sad note, I just wanted to let you know, I think most of you know, I did not know the gentleman, but I've heard wonderful things about him. Dr. Barney McCrae, who the McCrae Medical Technology Building is named after, was chair of the trustees here for many years in the 1980s, passed away on Tuesday. So I just wanted to let you know, we have sent our condolences to the college, and we'll be sending a little thing to the funeral tomorrow. As part of our initiative in the Black community is that thanks to Travis George, some grant money we have and so forth, we've been providing tutoring at the Richardson Center over the past few weeks, and we now are moving to 4 student tutors that we're paying because it's been overwhelming. He's been about getting 10 to 15 kids there Monday through Wednesday. So
Great.
we're providing a great service to those students. Hopefully they'll be dual enrollment students and potentially FGC students down the road, age between 12 and 15 that they're doing. So that was really good to do. I wanted to let you know, in case people ask us, regarding Juneteenth this year. It falls on a Sunday, and looking at our calendar for the summer, it was pre-done before the federal government highlights and so forth on our faculty days. We've decided not to close this year. We have it in next year's calendars, which you'll be approving down the road, but we'll be doing an educational event that we're working with Travis on Monday for the entire community that day. So I wanted to let you know that that was taking place in case you've heard any of those questions regarding that. I want to also thank Renee, who once again for the 20 some odd year,
No, I can't even tell you.
30th. Regional Science Fair is next Thursday here at the Wilson Rivers Library. Once again, we'll be having an open viewing. The community can come in and see. It's a wonderful event, and it brings out the best science students both at the middle school level and in the high school level, correct?
In our area.
In our area for the region. So that's once again held at our thing. This seems like kudos to the trustees. Gilchrist County, I know John Jewett has been meeting with Dr. Cerency's staff to reinvigorate the Gilchrist County Center into some dual enrollment things and some other future things. And I know we have some cleanup to do in that building. I got the long list, so we're working on that. So we'll probably have an update in the next month or two about what we're doing in that building. As you requested, next month, I have been on the phone 2 or 3 times with Mike Williams. He will be able to attend the March meeting. His back surgery has gone well. His wife is making him do 2.5 miles a day, even the pain is bad. So he will be at the next board meeting to be recognized by the board. Softball announcement, I want to thank all of you for supporting me in that. That went really well. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback, lots of inquiries since we made that decision to do that. Lee did not mention but on April 28th, 27th, oh, I'm glad you were here.
Wednesday? Are we talking about the same thing?
The Foundation Luncheon?
Yeah, okay, we're on the same.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. Okay. You sure it's 25? At the Howard Center, because of the COVID situation and so forth, it's usually held in November. And we've postponed it now for two and a half years. And Philip Moses will be recognized as the recipient of the greatest honor for the foundation. So plan to be there if you can. Invitations will be forthcoming. We are moving graduation.
He knows about that, right?
Yeah, he does. That's why I didn't. I wasn't that.
Wednesday, he does.
At 11:30, and Lee promises we'll be out of there by 1. He's already shortened me down to 7 minutes, so that's how I know. So graduation will be held the more traditional way, even though there was a lot of discussion keeping it the new way. But we will have a traditional morning graduation on May. I'm bad with May dates. May 6th. I believe it's Friday, May 6th. We will have the morning one, and we also have the afternoon one. A little different this year will be that we're going to allow, based on student requests, that they can sign up for either the morning or the afternoon. And in the past, if you remember, we used to do the AA graduates and then the technical students in the afternoon. They've requested that they could have the choice of their time. So it will make it a little bit different for us, but I think it's a great thing. We're also going to be having a summer graduation that will be held in the PAC for summer graduates. What we found in the past is that once they graduate in the summer, they never come back to receive that, and we think it would be special to have that. So this year we're going to do one in the PAC in the summertime also. I know there'll be questions about the city and the county agreements. There's been lots of changes at the city again. So I think we're going to be able to get some closure on this whenever we get a permanent city manager. Seems like Mr. Fiegel and I are talking to each other every week trying to get this thing closed out. So
I think that's where it's clogged up right now at the city, because they're working with other problems and can't get us a response.
And then the firing range, as Dr. Gavin mentioned, opened at Lusty, but it's been closed permanently at the Lake City campus. And we are already reviewing the site for cleanup, trying to get bids on lead mitigation, and then deciding what we're going to do with that space, which is a beautiful space, actually. So it's right behind Mount Dirtmore, if any of you, as I call it. The only other thing I would say to you is I mentioned to you at the last meeting about the possibility of the Lakeshore Hospital. I'm still being approached about that, and I've been getting lots of inquiries from the state level regarding where we're at with our talks and discussions about charter schools and charter technical schools. And there was a huge announcement last week at the state level that they've approved 4 charter technical high schools at the state colleges last week. So I've been getting requests from this department if we were interested and so forth. So I would ask Mr. Chair that probably that for time's sake that I would request from the board that if we want to talk about this, we'd probably have a workshop next month to discuss each of those items and see if there's any interest of the board. I have delved into both of those issues. There's pros and cons to both of those things, but I understand the ramifications of that, long-term ramifications and also the political ramifications. So I just think I would request a special workshop from the board.
Sure, there's a lot of dollars that, are involved, that is being made available by the state. There are other dynamics associated with it. If we don't, then the possibility of someone else that's not saying we need to, it merits discussion. I think that it certainly merits discussion by the board. How does the board feel about workshopping that?
Yes.
Do we have anyone that is in opposition? Okay, then we'll ask the president to create a workshop for us.
Thank you. And that is my report, Mr. Chair.
Okay, any questions for the president? If not, then topics for future meetings, I think we just garnered one. Are there any others? If not, the warrant register is always available for your inspection, and we will set the time for the next meeting, if all minds are relieved, for March the 10th at 5 p.m. Regular meeting at the FGC boardroom back in Lake City.
Would you prefer a workshop after the meeting for time constraints and so forth? To make sure that, because 4 o'clock is difficult for many of you, I would say. So can we do it after the regular meeting? Would that be okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right, so I'm
Good.
just we'll work it out.
Good. We'll meet after good. Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, all minds are relieved, we will consider ourselves adjourned.